Hello. I don't know if I don't know if I like this menu music. It's a little it's a little harsh. Like I understand what they were going for with kind of like a minimalist sci-fi kind of aesthetic, but I think the synths are a little harsh. So this is a game called Heaven Will Be Mine. It is a lesbian mecha visual novel game. That's all I know about it. It sounded interesting and the art looked neat. So we're gonna play it today. Like, these character models already look, or this character already looks really cute. I get to select a pilot. Faction, Celestial Mechanics, Self-Ship, String of Pearls. Celestial Mechanics Reserve Test Pilot. Celestial Mechanics want to advance humanity to its next stage, and Saturn wants to flirt, but there's no reason we can't do both. Combat style button mashing, bedroom style button mashing. Okay, this is very okay. This character is already very promising, but I need to look at everybody else. Well, I think there's only 3 characters, so hold on. Faction Memorial Foundation Self-Ship Mare Crucium Memorial Foundation Ace Pilot. Fighting for the pilots to join the rest of humanity back on Earth before it's too late. Good at sniping, espionage, double crossing, ghosting. Bad at loving herself, everything else. Oh no. Cradle's Graces. Self-Ship Croon Macula. Cradle's Graces Ultimate Weapon Pilot. Even if Earth has given up on a new life for her humanity in space, Cradle's Graces hasn't, and Pluto will make that dream come true. Like succulents, good girls, crushing both kinds. Everyone dislikes is trying very hard not to have any. Oh, trying hard not to have any dislikes. I. Oh, that's really hard. I'm. Saturn is really cute. Saturn is super cute. But like Lunaterra is also very my type. I think it's the scars. She also seems like. She has like tall, buff lady vibes already. I'm gonna go with Lunaterra. From the Division of Existential Safety, conflicts-enabled ship self-archetype model. First flight July 16th, 1969. Nice. Place of manufacture, Sea of Crises, Earth's moon, our throne of the soul, for the Memorial Foundation International Space Program and all humanity. Until no one is forgotten and all are remembered. Registering pilot. Welcome pilot, first class Lunaterra. Error, multiple maintenance issues and critical errors detected. I can't turn down. The game audio is getting a little loud. I'm gonna at least turn it down on the stream until I can turn it down on the actual game. Launch permissions are locked until addressed. List errors, maintenance errors. There's possible sensor failure. Several limb connections are not registering. No weapons loaded. Critical errors. Mass alert 1. Healing failure on critical area near core. Possible bleed. Tidal cores resonating at levels harmful to the pilot. Ready manual firmware update. Running. Upgrades detected. I can just turn it down in the volume mixer for now. If it would open. There we go. Is that better? That's better. Wah. It's very loud still. Okay. Syncing. Accepted manual internal mechanism firmware update. Switched ammunition to conceptual mode. Custom sensors loaded. Dynamic limb optimization loaded. 1981.17. That's loud as hell. Hold up. It's getting loud as hell. Hold on. Please hold. Details mass alert 1. I bleed 2. Recording derived from the data burned 4-dimensionally into the wound. Suffered by this unit almost 1 year ago. Wound self-generated by forced overloading tearing the core open during sustained conflict in the Mars Ares regression campaign. What is this? What is with this audio just getting louder and louder? Hold on. I think that should be a good audio mix. Wow, wow. All critical systems have naturally healed, yet the wound continues to bleed into space. Fuel efficiency lowered, healing speed reduced, and tidal reactor speed cannot be regulated, leading to the possibility of overload and increased pilot strain. They strongly recommended that you seek the assistance of a full maintenance team. A lack of understanding of the full effects of gravitational conflict on the human gestalt means that this computer cannot provide adequate instruction on therapeutic measures. Permanently disable Mass Alert 1. Really ignore? Yes. Provide reason. I can handle it. Automatic scan alerts show that this may not be a very good reason. Would you like to provide another? No. Mass Alert 1 disabled. Details, Mass Alert 2. Tidal reactor has had unauthorized modification that is causing an unsustainable chain reaction. Notice, the ship is not equipped to handle prolonged operation at this capacity. Increasing short-term output may cause long-term failures. Loss of gravitational stability may cause fracturing and instability in pilot. Permanently disable Mass Alert 2. This Mass Alert cannot be disabled by pilot authorization. MF key code. Alert disabled. For record-keeping purposes, please input the reason. I'm fine. Ship self-mare Ship self-mare Crisium is in spacefaring condition. You are cleared to launch. Disable launcher OS and engage catapult. All controls given to pilot. There is a message for you. Cancel. Refused. This message will be automatically played. Letting you keep this as my gift to you, Lunaterra, your favorite and loosest leash. Prove to me you've learned not to choke on it. Incoming message. Standing orders updated. If it's that urgent, it's too late. If it's not too late, it can wait. Let me enjoy the view of the rings. They're beautiful, even though there's wait. There we go, here's some options. You're loud. You're very loud. I need you to be quieter. Thank you. I'm gonna remix the audio in my... Okay, thank you. They are beautiful, even though there's only so long you can watch them before even the sight of the six planets' rings become as boring as a blue sky. Mare Crisium's sensors render them in every detail, using every sense, as perfectly as she always has. You really are getting old, aren't you? Both me and you. I should probably listen to Control and throw you out and get a new one. But that doesn't seem right. You're only supposed to get one body. Even if I haven't been very good to you, I could never throw you out. For all you've got. The Mare Crisium is the test-type model. It was made as a proof of concept. It isn't the first vessel made to grant humans locomotion and life in space, but it is the first to allow for outward expression. In all kinds of ways. It can do so many things, and they gave it devices for everything, because they hadn't estimated how powerful tidal engines would become, or what sorts of things humans would really want to do in space. It's the first machine meant for conflict, but it's also the last machine that was meant for other things too. A ceremonial tin soldier, made to impress. An impossible-to-use machine. Mind-machine or biofeedback interfacing is necessary to give humans control over a second body, but the Mare Crisium is done completely manually. It makes Lunaterra sort of a genius and sort of an idiot, that she can't do things any other way. I'm having so much fun, it's hard to believe it's going to be over so soon. No, I love it when old things are over, and new things begin. Open the channel. Let's hear those standing orders. It's January 1st, 1980, and the long and cold war, where humanity united against its nemesis, an existential threat from beyond the stars, has been over for a long time. Since the 50s, we've been fighting a war against an existential threat that we cannot understand, cannot perceive, and is powerless against the technology of Earth. That is a pretty stupid sort of war to fight, isn't it, when there's enough of a mess down here to worry about? Humanity is already the undisputed authority of reality, and we have the physics to prove it. It's time to return to Earth, our home, the seat of the universe. Before Earth takes us back in pieces, let's go home with grace. On the first anniversary of the decommissioning of the International Space Program, we, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety... Is that an acronym for something? It doesn't really make an acronym. Alright. In agreement with our home planet's unanimous decision, declare... There's no future for humanity in space. Let's come home. The Return Resolution. Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. It's January 1st, 1981. It's been 1 year since we declared independence from Memorial Foundation and the rest of Earth. The Cold War is officially over, and it feels so light without the gravity weighing us down. How can a tiny handful of colonies, terraformers, and schools hold out against the full authority of Earth? Because that shit doesn't fly past escape velocity. This is just Gundam. This is just the plot of Gundam. The power of the ship cells we made to fight the Cold War. We made tidal resonators to bring the gravity necessary for humans and culture to survive in space. And that gravity is ours now. Enough to make a new world, free from the weight of Earth. If Memorial Foundation wants to kill the future, they'll have to come and take it from us. We're thankful for our Kratos graces, but we're not coming back. Independence Declaration, Kratos graces. Yeah, this is just Gundam. Although, hold on. I always forget. There's like parts of Gundam lore, mostly because like they were named by non-English speakers, obviously, that I absolutely despise because it's too dumb. Uh, the two things that really, the two things that are like too silly for me for these in Gundam lore is that like people from space are called space noids, like humanoids, but like space noids. And that doesn't really roll off the tongue, it just sounds really silly. The other thing is, I think it's really goofy that, so the reason that like Gundams are like very specifically like better built to be capable of fighting in space is because they're made out of like a metallic alloy, like a newly invented metallic alloy that can only be made in space because there's like a whole thing with like zero gravity make. God, this soundtrack is oppressive. Uh, I almost want to just mute this audio. Maybe I will. I can actually from this menu. Uh, they basically invented a new metal that you can make that you can only make in zero gravity, which is why they can only make it in space. Like they invented it in space, and it's just called Gundanium. It's goofy. Anyway. It's January 25th, 1981. The Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces have been having fun for a little over a year, and nothing is breaking the stalemate. Earth is getting impatient. They have good reason to believe that the existential threat... Sorry, I'm literally burpy right now. I sip of gamer subs. Okay. They have good reason to believe that the existential threat posed by divided humanity in space is much greater than any theoretically malevolent entity outside the native sphere. While the kids are fighting, Earth is getting ready to list the humans remaining in space as part of the existential threat, and when they do, they'll send real weapons, and end this war fought with plastic toys. The justification? We're technically less than 100% human, just not human enough to be something else. It's hard to believe they're really onto us. It's time to make a drastic move. Bring our final piece, the prototype ship self-string of pearls we made in the atmosphere of planet Cronus, which will never be Saturn, to the lunar gravity well, where Memorial Foundation and Kratos Graces are already headed. Whoever controls that place controls human access to space. We can be sure everything will be in place there. Earth or space, we're short of 100% human. So let's see how much less than 100% we can get. Internal report, celestial mechanics. I thought they were gonna also do the Gundam thing where they were just gonna try and drop Space Australia on the Earth. Day 1. Joyride Killjoy. Can I... I'm gonna... I feel like the music won't be as... Hopefully the music won't be as bad and oppressive. Let's also save our game right here. I love her. I already love her already. Mail and alerts. Retrograde and retrograde. Chasing after the string of pearls, Lunaterra and Pluto find each other instead. It's been almost a year since they last saw each other, and Lunaterra has never seen Pluto like this. You ready to spin backwards? Joyride Killjoy. Weaving in and out of the 6 planets' rings, Memorial Foundation's ace, Lunaterra, plays cat and mouse with the renegade ship thief, Saturn. Oh god, I forget who's who already. Hold on. Subject, just come and get me. Origin, combat communications packet. Author, error. Oh, you think you're so cool, don't you? Well, watch your back, because I'm coming for you. Think that #1 position is gonna last? Not a chance. In fact, why don't we have a little duel about it? If you're not too scared, come meet me in the shadow of Olympia Mons, and I'll make sure that this time you're the one left splattered and helpless and pinned on the side of the mountain. And not me, like the last 9 times. And would it kill you to, like, stick around for a bit after, you smug jerk? Not that I'm planning on losing. This time I'm gonna beat you. Cold War Ace reports, Unitera. First generation pilot research declassification. Memorial Foundation existential safety. She was unremarkable. I did not remember her at first. We took any of those who wanted badly to live in space and did not fit on Earth. In retrospect, we were asking for a rather unique quality, and it is not just a coincidence that she was there. The pilots had to be young adults, past physical, and not care what space might do to their body. It is not so surprising that someone like her would emerge from that pool of people, but the woman you know today has been iterated on since she was an adolescent. Be assured, I saw nothing of promise in her when I first met her. I told her that myself, as I told all the students. I am uninterested in your potential. We are judged by the self we create. I find that encourages brats to not take their specialness so seriously. This was not Lunatara's problem. Piece by piece, she created someone very interesting to be. Give those children permission, and Lunatara was simply unique in her execution. She was never encouraged. She was never punished. We will never find another prodigy like Lunatara by looking for tidally sensitive children, because they do not exist. We will not find them pre-made. They must create themselves. Was this not the dream of the Memorial Foundation space program? Subject, a justification return. Origin, Memorial Foundation Declaration of Intent. Generation Emissary Halimede. Earth is not the sphere of our home planet. It is not the physical body, which is called Terra, the home of life. It is not measured in mass or by its gravity, its position in the universe. Earth is us. We measure Earth by culture. We are the Earth, humanity the particles of its mass, and by our gravity its body is formed. By our diversity and multiplicity, Earth exists. The living miracle of humanity's shared power, insignificant unless we are joined. This international space program with representatives all across Earth represents our commitment to peace, that humanity will never seek again to destroy itself. That humanity has the right to eternal life, invincible bodies, and unrestricted movement in space, as humanity expands beyond this sphere, as extensions of the universal human rights of life, culture, and freedom. To protect the growth and sanctity of all culture, ensure a future for humanity, and the defeat of our enemy. On this day, we inaugurate the International Memorial Foundation Space Program. Comms. Oh, it's very like Gundam art portraits. It's very clearly the what is it? The inspiration for this. So you really have betrayed us, don't you? Haven't you? Never betrayed anyone in my entire life. Ha ha ha. But seriously, whose side are you on right now? It sounds so accusatory to put it. It sounds so accusatory to put it like that. You know I'm fine with you being on whoever's side you choose, so I can destroy them and drive you back to me. That may end up being a lot. That may end up being a lot of people. What? You don't think I'm up for it? Don't worry yourself about that part, kitten. If you want me to defect back, you'd always just ask. Oh, sweet girl, I'm not interested in you coming back so you can walk away again. Haha, how many times did Halimede fall for that? You shouldn't count as tricking her if she knew it was coming every time. Oh, stop it. I hate it when you're so modest. It's beneath you. Give her at least the dignity of subtle seduction. I would have. It's not what she wanted. She really had to think about her reputation more. And what more is there to say about the trail of messes you leave? But my disappointment in you is both as total. My adorable failures, what am I to do with you? You should go easy on her. I live to spoil her. Make no mistake that everything she deserves will be visited on you. Oop. I wouldn't dream of not letting you have that. You have to know by now how aware I am of what you want and deserve. Haha, you're so good to me, Europa. I don't deserve it. When I double-cross you again, be sure to really let me have it. I hope you do. But I take no chances with loyalty. Halimede merely hopes you will change. I think it's charming that even you believe that might have some effect on you, but I know much better than you, kitten. I won't let you return no matter how much you beg, until you have no other choice. When you can't pivot or run or trick your way through, when you can't second guess or lie, that's the only way to change that nature of yours. Channel closed. Data log. There's a lot of reading. Division 6. Safety. Oh, I think. Okay, yeah, this. Oh, okay. These are all the, like, things I already read earlier. That was, like, her turning off all the basic stuff. This is the Europa. Okay, alignment. Moral Foundation, Celestial Mechanics, Kratos Graces System. Okay, save. Oh, right. I'm gonna go. I think. Take another sip here. I think that Saturn was the one that I thought was cute. Is that right? I guess we'll find out. Delay, launch. Objective in sight. Opening channel to base. Captain, I'm bored. Captain, this sucks. Well, you heard him, Europa. Tell those idiots to be careful what they wish for, because the mission parameters have changed. As you know, Celestial Mechanics has been operating a clandestine ship self-development lab with an experimental prototype, in violation of the terms of the Memorial Foundation Space Program Decommission Treaty. And we're on a top-secret surprise attack to take out the last operational shipyard and make sure we never have to find out what Celestial Mechanics has been planning to do with it. Couldn't be more obvious what happened, but go ahead and brief me anyway. No points for guessing, the prototype already launched, rendering most of the base inoperable. We lost contact almost instantly. Find it before it leaves Cronus' gravitational field. Oh great. What a pain. Weren't you just bored? There's no way to find it. It's good as good on. There's a chance that the ship itself is still nearby, so get to work. Ugh. Yeah, this is... Bravo, evade now. Now. I got nothing. Bubblegum pink electricity sparks off the ice and dust of the inner ring like a lightning bolt. Lightning bolt through his ship self. He doesn't even get the slightest chance. Captain... Mayday. Don't listen and you don't have any rising plane, right, Europa? What a callous attitude you have. Who did you learn that from? The best, preparing to engage. I wish Europa would stop sending me boys who can't control themselves. Having fun dismantling my escorts? With the string of Pearl's fingers, Saturn carefully peels the mechanical musculature out of the poor ship's armies she's holding, souvenir of the last of Lunatara's escorts that she sent crying too easily back to their base. It's still sparking and oozing, and Saturn wishes her ship had a mouth so she could suck it out like crab meat. Maybe it does have a mouth. The machine has many mysteries the manual doesn't explain, and Saturn is still learning them. Though I suppose Europe was learned her lesson about sending me girls who can't control themselves. There she is. Okay, good. That was the girl I was looking for. I gotta give her like a tomboy voice. Hold on. Oh, really? Hey, that's really interesting. Mind telling me more? Oh, she's a hacker too? How amusing. There's nothing too interesting on this comm frequency. Ah, you flatter me. But hey, what did that mean exactly? The part about the girls who can't control themselves? I really want to hear more. Means back up that talk first. Or can you land a hit off the comms? Lunatara's gravitational field focuses to a single point. Lunatara isn't budging. She's been through much worse, and so is her ship. Followed always by a thin trail from a bleeding wound she never could completely repair. The Mercury seam is over 2 decades old, but Saturn can't even land a hit. It's regal and stiff, dressed in gold metallics, weathered and refurbished. The archetypal prototype for all other ship cells, still going after all these years. Still fiercely untouchable, the string of pearls hasn't gone down no matter how much she's been rammed with that spear, but she hasn't even nicked Lunatara's ship once. Not bad at all for a joyride, but you can't get one hit in? Good thing you can't win by looking cool. No mercy for newbies? No. Lunatara puts a stick of solid light through the string of pearl's leg, pins it to its own gauze wrapper. Doesn't hurt at all. The ship's metals begin molding and reforming around the wound immediately. A ridiculous, unfair advantage. Saturn has no right to complain, but she still wants to. But she's trying to be cool. Everyone wants you. When in the quiet gleam of that always bleeding ship. It's a pretty amazing ship. Think it'll last? Either you're fighting just for fun because you're that reckless, or you're caught in your own containment wrapper and can't escape orbit yet. And you'd beat me for sure if I played around. I'm not done yet. That's not true. It's actually very difficult to move with a solid light bullet in your leg, but she's not going to let that stop her. Saturn is suddenly closer than she logically could be, claws bubbling, but Lunaterra effortlessly slips away and kicks Saturn's ship directly in the chest. Yeah, you're done. The containment wrapper is still stuck to you, so your movement's off. Doesn't seem to have stopped you that much. Right? It was so rude of you to try and stop me. It seems cool to take it away when you're having so much fun with it. Same as you, right? Do I know you? Everyone knows Memorial Foundation's perfect ace. But do I know you? So I do, don't I? Let me out of this thing and I'll tell you. Ha, why would I? Because you can't help yourself. Besides, don't you want a real fight? Can you promise it'll go different? I can promise it'll be more fun. You're asking for me to totally abandon my duty to bring you back and do that instead? What, you won't? Legendary pilot who defected from Memorial Foundation, then double-crossed the rebels she abandoned... Wait. The legendary pilot who defected from Memorial Foundation, then double-crossed the rebels she abandoned them for, can't be opposed to a little fooling around with the enemy. Guess you do know me. Wanna trust each other? Or is it more fun if we don't? It's more fun if they do, and Saturn gets embarrassed. It's more fun if they don't, and Lunaterra gets owned. Betray Celestial Mechanics. Outcome favors Memorial Foundation. I don't remember which thing is which. I like the first one because I think embarrassing Saturn would be fun. Memorial Foundation advances. How's that? Did it hurt? It's just weird. It's weirder that it doesn't hurt. Hello, Purple Demon Lady. Where's the you? She's blue. I am... So you know how, like, people have, like, sleep paralysis demons? I'm like that, but, like, I'm her pride demon. We're playing a lesbian mecha game. It's easier for Lunaterra to cut through the malleable flesh of the string of pearls directly than untangle her from the wrapper. The flesh reforms quickly, so she has to work impatiently. A string of pearls might be impossible to destroy, even if Saturn can't land a hit. Lunaterra feels like somehow she's the one who got lucky. If just this hurt, you'd never be able to fight. Your brain is giving you more nuanced information. You're very sensitive. Lucky. You'll get used to it. If you're serious about next time, think of yourself as something a little bigger. So I'm this, scarred buff lady on the right. Because, yeah, and then, I'm fighting this, dark-skinned tomboy girl on the left. Because, yeah. I like that. Who are you? I'm you, Bulgaria. Yeah, basically. I like that. Being big. I'm glad I trust you. Stop shaking then, or ask me to go easier. Just a little easier? Of course. Do you remember me yet? Thought you'd remember the name of at least some of the girls you made out with in supply closets. Your face. Just kidding, but sorry it was worth it. You weren't kidding about still being dangerous. Every pilot knows you. But by both of your reputations. Ooh, yo, let me kiss me. Happy Pride, everybody. You're definitely Saturn, because no one hated me as much as you. So now I'm curious why you don't anymore. If I tell you, you'll owe me extra. So save it for the next time you catch me. Huh, well I'll just have to catch you again quick. All three. Now get out of here before someone catches us. Day 2. Alright. I gotta figure out the difference between these three organizations because I don't remember which one was which. Hold on. If I go into the data log, there were a lot of lore dumps at the top of the top of the top of the game that I super wasn't paying attention to. Alignment? No, alright. Okay. So Celestial Mechanics is who we're fighting against. Yeah, thanks. I still have to that reminds me, I still have to like update my panels to credit some of the like stuff. Cause like the horns and the wings are custom. Oh, I can like show off the whole thing real quick, hold on. Gotta kinda move this. A little bigger. Yeah, I got the Pride Month shirt. This is like the entire like uh reason I was like, oh, it'd be fun to make a Pride Demon form because this fucking image that's been going around that had the word demon inside the word Pride Month. But yeah, this is the model. Got a ponytail and the horns. Yeah, all right, that seems good. All right, cool. Okay. The jacket doesn't have a cool cock on the back of it though. Okay. Celestial. Hold on. I feel like I need to read the first. I feel like I need to read the first. Not that one. Like the second lore dump had all the information in it, and I don't remember any of it immediately. Actually, none of these are the lore dump at the top of the game. Oh well, I guess we'll figure things out. I guess. Excited to be out in the field again, doing important work. We're a long way from anything important out here. Can't help but notice. You think command wants you as far away from them as they can get you? What makes you think that? Oh, oops, didn't mean to click. The basic lore is like, um, it's basically the same as Gundam lore, where like, um, they made space colonies and like space mechas. Although the part that deviates is like there was a like Cold War against we'd like fight aliens or something and then we beat the aliens, but like after that like the space colonies kind of like try to defect. So from that point on, it's basically just the Gundam lore of like um space for the space noids, where they like, hey, we have like space colonies far away from Earth. Why are we still being governed by you guys? Which is like an oversimplification of Gundam lore, but that's basically what it is. And then Char tried to drop Space Australia on the Earth. That's Gundam lore. So I sort of keep. Oh, there you go. All right. Nope. Okay. No. That you said that command is my ex, and that I did once double cross Memorial Foundation. In any case, you should be happy that you're in the field at all, and not in a brig or in the process of being shipped back to Earth. Well, I am. I'm so thankful. I don't need to be lied to about my work being important. I would never lie about a thing like that. In fact, the most lovely sixth planet of our solar system, Cronus, has become extremely busy in the past 24 hours. A major leak out of celestial mechanics has revealed that finishing a prototype here, and Cradle's Graces knows about it too. Apparently, the Hellion responding to the leak has stolen it too. You're just filmed for the job. Reining in incorrigible pilots is your specialty. Let's see if that power can be used for good for once. Europa, please leave some me left to fight the enemy. Don't shoot me down before the mission starts. Was I too mean? I'd prefer direct combat any day. Well, let me tell you something nice then. That Cradle's Grace's super weapon, your favorite, has been spotted in the system. My favorite? What do you mean? Don't play dumb. You make that same face whenever Crown Macula is spotted. It's the biggest mystery of their side, and one of the only reasons Cradle's Graces hasn't collapsed by now. The Crown Macula's power is unreal. It's far stronger than reality than anything that could possibly have been projected from its original schematics. Its capabilities seem endless and impossible to predict or encounter. And no one knows who the pilot is. The list of people who could pilot something like that is very short, however. Maybe it's someone you know? Worried I might double-cross you again? I'm not with Cradle's Graces anymore for a reason. Oh, I just never trust you when girls are involved. Oh, new mail. First generation pilot candidate interviews. Why do you want to go to space? Oop, I accidentally closed it. Why do you want to go to space? I want a new start. In what sense? To get rid of this weight. We're required to make it clear the purpose of the program is not to leave Earth, but to expand it. The weight will follow you. Oh. It's really hard to parse the... It's spacing, right. We're required to make it clear that the purpose of the program is not to leave Earth, but to expand it. The weight will follow you. But will it weigh in differently? Please explain what you mean about what you said previously. About what? What do you mean when you say you don't want to be me? I don't know how else to say it. Isn't it obvious? Who would want to be this? I don't understand what you see that is wrong with you. I do. Aha, you're saying that you, as you are, the person who you are, doesn't want to be you? Yes. Then you aren't that person. But that person weighs on me. So would you like to have the weight of being this other person that you are not? You would like that removed? Yes, please. That may be possible. The Cold War is... Hold on, I feel like I should be reading this in like a newsy voice. Hold on. The Cold War is looking bleak. The threat from space is more flimsy, translucent, and inscrutable when once it was so strong that all of humanity feared it. Existential threats on Earth are more pernicious than... Wow, this is really taxing my reading comprehension. Pernicious than ever, and the scouts are not keeping up. It has become difficult to argue against the possibility that the scouting program has done more harm than good, and that I can't keep up this, like, transatlantic newsy thing. I'm just gonna go back to reading it normal. It has become difficult to argue against the possibility that the scouting program has done more harm than good, and that goes just as much, if not more so, for the pilot program. Historically, death has always invited the enemy here in its greatest strength. Humans can't resist killing each other long enough to protect themselves from the existential threat. It is easy to make this argument, but we have had little success with it. No matter how celebrated the slogan is, and no matter how many governments and leaders profess to live by it, the simple fact remains. The existential threat can never be as powerful as we are. Humans will always pose a greater threat to other humans than the existential threats will. It will always be easier for humanity to eliminate the threat by killing their own than by fighting the threat directly. While we have offered children and wanted to fight the existential threat with existential intent, humanity has turned its gaze inward rather than to the heavens. Not even strong enough to pierce the atmosphere without burning, the existential threat can no longer be labeled as such. For these reasons, we accept the decision to decommission the Memorial Foundation space program. Okay. Oh, I just have to do them in order. Oh wait, I actually didn't save. I should probably just do them both. I think this is the other girl's, like, path. Because it did say her name on it. But, like, if I hit delay, does that mean I just don't hang out with her? I'm gonna launch it. If I don't like her, I might just start hitting. I might start ghosting her. What's going on? You've been pestering me with orders, so what's the sudden holdup? Central said to launch immediately. We have to get to the Celestial Mechanics Lab, regardless of whether or not the prototype is already gone. There's valuable information there, but it's worthless if Kratos Graces gets there first. Have some patience, Lunatera. The Kratos Graces carrier just launched a completely unknown ship self. This can't be right. A person can't pilot a ship that big. The tidal resonance would tear the pilot apart. Is this impossible? Mazaka. Impossible, I hope. I've never seen anything like it. And no, you can't fight it, Lunatera, so don't even think about it. Any better ideas? Must be headed for where the prototype launched, right? Where else? Because they have to know that it already escaped. Don't underestimate your opponent, Lunatera. Scavenging the lab may be useful anyway. We should have gone there. For information, if nothing else. Even against an unknown and objectively stronger enemy? What makes you so sure, Lunatera? No particular reason? Or a single particular reason? Haha, still don't trust me? Don't insult your former instructor, Lunatera. I knew how much to trust you before you betrayed us to Kratos Graces. My opinion hasn't changed because we welcomed you back into the fold. The best pilot and worst student, you've never been predictable except in your consistency for trouble. But it's a reliable metric. You're right, you know me, so if you're worried, don't have to let me have free reign like this. Since you were a kid, from your earliest academy days, you've never been able to look at me in the eyes and lie. You only got away with anything by keeping your mouth shut. Very unlike Pluto, the hope of Kratos' Graces. She could lie right to my face, with a smile, if she thought it was for the best. Pluto exceeded the wildest expectations of the pilot program, so much so that it was decommissioned in part because of her. If Celestial Mechanics have successfully built a monster that can withstand her, this engagement will end in disaster. That is much more terrifying than this machine you're so eager to fight. That concerns me far more than you betraying us or fighting a battle you can't possibly win. I don't think any of you really understand what you're doing. Pluto is unreal. She's far more overwhelming than any of you understood. If that ship is unworthy of Pluto, it's going to be torn apart under the pressure of her, not the other way around. Pluto is the only real human being. No wonder she feels so alien when she looks at us. You want me to let you take an impossibly dangerous mission because you think you can save our enemy? What can I say to that? Maybe she can teach you the lesson I can't. Like waking up underwater to the wet burn of your lungs' desperation for air. Like floating untethered in space, unable to move under your own power. Losing the security of gravity is like being naked in space. Gravity is necessary for human life in space. Gravity is necessary for unrestricted movement in space. Can't have one without the other. The force that binds your existence together, the force of shape foreign bodies, pure agency. Gravity is necessary not just to live in space, but to be human in space. But being human is a little hard for Pluto, so she has to work for it. The tidal forces of her spacefaring body, the crude macula, are as strong as she believes, and as weak as she feels. And Lunatara needs to make sure all the calculations are in order. Everything in her ship operates manually. She's just been at it long enough that it feels like a second skin. The jolt of nostalgia interrupts Lunatara's mental math. She forgets to carry the one. It interrupts Pluto's focus, and she has a moment where she's not invisible. Close enough to touch the surface of the moon lab, Lunatara is seen and known by Pluto, and they're suddenly falling down the well of too late and nothing you can do. I knew it. Warning, gravitational interference. It's important to get a grip, knowing that there's nothing you can do with something Pluto considers freeing and Lunatara considers exciting. Feeling doomed is clear permission to do whatever. As soon as Mercurium is through the cloud cover, she fires solid light in the remains of the Celestial Mechanics lab and it chases it through the wound. The lab was recently damaged by the illegal launch of a hijacked ship, but that damage is barely noticeable compared to the massive hole left by a much larger ship crashing through. Lunatara acts fast under pressure. If there's no point in hiding, there's no point in stopping. It's true, Lunatara is living on the whim of Croon Macula, which can probably do whatever to hurt her at any time. If she can't run away, she wants to make the first move. It's the sort of thing that makes a lot of sense if you think about it, and no sense at all if you think a little more. But that's Lunatara, isn't it? She's betting you'll think too much, or not enough. Against Pluto, is that really such a good idea? She's someone who always thinks just enough. She makes it easy for Lunatara to slip through, deep into the lab, until it gets quiet except for the sounds of the moon quaking and trembling. After almost a year, the dread and the thrill is way too much to slow down and start talking. That's what the arrow flying into Pluto's gravity well is saying. He will make the first move. When Lunatara punctures the last armor layer and opens up the terminal cavern, light spills out and screaming sound. Because the Kroon macula is peeling the lab and most of the moon inside out with the forces of its own tides. It's not something that's impossible or anything, it's just something that's only possible in theory, which is still terrifying. More terrifying. More terrifying than that power is Pluto's finesse. And more terrifying than the finesse is her gentleness, spooling matter like threads in the tiny galaxy which she is the sun. Her power is very kind, but it's also a little perverse. What meaning does mercy have from something that can core out a moon? Kroon Macula's developers compared it to a black hole. They wanted a machine so powerful and absolute even light couldn't escape it. Lunatara understands now that was wrong. She's a star, gushing and twinkling with matter and light. Who wouldn't be swept up in that? The Mercresium is so small, Pluto's never seen it from a perspective like Kroon Macula's before. She never imagined it would look so fragile from here, like a toy version of the fierce fighter she remembered. Pluto's sense of scale is true. Lunatara feels just like a plastic toy too. On second thought, she's really cute. Also terrifying. I have very few voices. Hold on. Please hold. Because if I try to do like my softish voice, that's just Europa again. Hold on. Let me think. Come on. Come on. Say something. It's making me sad. It really does fit you. It's much more than I ever thought. Is it hard to look away? Being able to render you speechless is the power I've always dreamed of. What do you think? I know just a look won't change your mind, but I want you to tell me. Tell you what? That I regret betraying you? I told you then that I always would. No, I won't let you do that, Lunati. Did you think I'd be mad? I mean, of course I'm mad at you, but not for anything you did to me. I would never be mad at you for not having enough faith in me to see through the Cradle's Grace's dreams of a new home for humans in space. I'm just mad at you for not having enough faith in yourself to see it through, and leaving all the work to me. Oops, I guess that's why I'm a little upset with you. Not mad, you know. Just disappointed. I can't believe I'm still the one scolding you like a kid. I'm trying to be the grown-up, you know. I did the responsible thing. I took the realistic option. I'm here to play the part of the boring adult, the grown-up villain. Oh, that's right. I remember, but I actually am mad at you. You better not go down quietly. You better really believe what you just said. I'll forgive you if you left us for something stupid, but I'll never forgive you if you left us for something you don't believe in. And you better not believe in it, because I also won't forgive you for fighting for a future that cruel. That doesn't leave me a lot of options. I don't think I can fight against that. Don't you dare. I won't forgive that either. Were you hoping maybe that it wouldn't be like this? That I wouldn't have to fight? It'll change you. In ways you don't understand. I've seen you fight so many times. I saw when you got that scar and your poor ship got her wound. Has anyone else seen that side of you as much as me? I don't think so. Not even Europa. But it's different when you're on the other side. You think I don't really know you, because I've never stared down the barrel of your rifle or felt that knife nick my ship? It's a different kind of knowing. Teach me then. Or I'll teach you. I can choose to lose this fight. Either way would be interesting. If I win... So I accidentally picked the anti-space noids group, which is fine. I think that's I don't know. I guess I am kind of on the fence of like if space colonies became a thing and like kept moving out further and further away from the Earth. Like, should they govern themselves versus specifically having to like cater to the whims of the Earth government? That's a very specific like thought experiment basically. I think I should win because I'm the hero of this story though. What's it gonna be, Lunati? Oh right, you never want to make the first move. Then I can go. Pluto sweeps up the swirling, tumbling matter in the hollowed out moon, making the second move has always worked for Lunatera. She's never been good at setting the pace, only outsmarting it, so it's the only move to make. Even still, maybe there aren't any winning moves. Lunatera has to be ready for that possibility. The Croon Macula is a very impossible sort of machine, almost as impossible as Pluto. Croon Macula can grind space-time to a crawl with its tidal forces. Croon Macula can pull ambient matter into a whirl with enough friction for the combustion to give birth to a star. Emotionally, and almost as much physically. A tiny sun is born, but Lunatera has just gotten out of the way. Lunatera isn't what Pluto is expecting, and then there's suddenly a hail of bullets in her skull. Pluto doesn't mind the onslaught, but it's still shocking, but not in an unpleasant way. It's actually very joyful. Really? Really? You're not just trying to scare me? For real, not a joke? You were finally going to have a fight about it? Does this body tell me that you finally aren't going to be weird about fighting it? Lunatera thinks Pluto could use a lesson in how terrifying actual combat can be, but is there anyone terrifying enough to teach it to her? Are you trying to hide from me? I've been waiting for a real fight. I'm tired of you telling me you think I'm right. But if you really thought that, you'd be here on my side. So prove I'm wrong already. Or admit defeat. Bullets through her arm and chest pretty much everywhere, but that is not a problem. Tear the bullets, even if they're light. Redirect them with gravity, pull them into a cosmic whirl. They'll never even reach her. They'll be always approaching, never meeting. They'll be in an infinite whirl. And that whirl will become a star, washing the mercuricium in heat and light and radiation. Ah, that's more like it. Not fast enough, Pluto. And then she runs Pluto through. It's not enough, but it hurts. It's serious. The brittle spear is of a cold and rational metal that repels cosmic concepts. Thank God. I was beginning to worry you didn't care about anything anymore. So here. The star supernovas. Croon Macula holds the star, and Croon Macula is the star. Lunatera almost doesn't get out of it. Her engines overheat. Electromagnetic current shorts her sensors, and her chassis is fried. She can move more than Pluto can, at least for long enough to get away. But I'm still ahead of you. No, I know why everyone hates you so much. You're no fun to fight with at all. Ha! Are you kidding? Like you fight fair. Now that I know what you're really like, I'm not going to accept anything less. I don't want to do that again. Well, too bad. Whose fault is that? Yeah, I know. Ever since the day Mars began, Mars has been doomed. No, there'll never be another planet Mars. That's a name reserved for places where human life, gravity, and culture reign. This is just bitter Aries, but like the stringy, inedible weeds that grow when nothing else does, Cradle's Graces is dug in and we can't get them out. The colonies are wrecked. The terraforming engines are broken. Gravity furnaces are out of control. There's no resources left on this planet, no strategic value. This planet doesn't even exist. It's an inert rock. There's no point in fighting. There's no need to fight. Ship selves can't keep you alive alone forever, and even if that was the case, we could leave tomorrow and claim victory. Most of the Memorial Foundation and SES fleet already did. That's why there's barely any of us left, and why we can't get them out. What? Why don't I go home too? And leave all those idiots to just fucking die on a rock? What do you think we're doing this for? External communication sent on August 31st, 1978 Memorial Foundation troops. Hey, It's not like we're idiots. We know we're doomed. The planet still doesn't fulfill the requirements for human life. And life is just the start anyway. Don't you know that gravity is something more important? You do understand celestial mechanics, right? Matter is made of tiny particles, but enough of it exerts gravity that stitches the universe together. Culture is made of tiny humans, and enough of it together can decide what's real and what isn't. It's really quite fucked up that this is how decisions about humans get made. Enough humans can decide anything, and then it'll be true, even about what's human and what's not. They don't even have to wait for the deadline. They've already decided that any human without their feet planted on the earth is, in fact, not a human. That's a pretty usual thing for humans to do. No differences of any kind need to exist. We'll just be aliens, and then they'll send the real military after us, and we'll die. But if we just hold the line here, for our princess to get through and make it to the moon, she'll open up the gravity well, and then we get to decide. Internal communication sent on January 25th, 1981 by Kyle Grace's irregulars. It's morning on Ares, but what's time and space? If we can get our capital ship launched and refueled, and the prototype retrofitted with the final equipment, we'll have everything in place. Keep out of the canyons of Mars, where Kratos Graces and Memorial Foundation are bickering. Hold the city ruins against invading troops, and make sure no one tries to set the oxygen ocean on fire while we refuel. It's a pretty thankless job. For me, I can't wait to see what happens. This is the most exciting space has ever been. Before we got here, this was a dead rock. But the best we could have ever hoped for was Earth in a different place. Who needs that? Far in the distance, the moon's gravity well shines. If no one controls it before the deadline is up, the Earth will take drastic steps to ensure that humanity is not divided. What they're afraid of happening, we will ensure that it happens. We'll finally have something alien in space. Private communication sent on January 26, 1981 by Celestial Mechanics Researching. Day 3. Report not accepted. 2 errors detected. Error 1. A failure to explain why the Celestial Mechanics ship string of pearls was not successfully apprehended. Error 2. A failure to explain why Kratos Grace's ship Queen Mechas was not successfully incapacitated. Wait, I killed that second one though. Hold on. I mean, that first one's on me. I thought I won that second fight. Resubmit. Warning, no corrections were submitted. Force resubmit. Generating new assignments. Penalty assignment, Sniper Duty, Planet Ares, currently held by Kratos Graces. Preventing Celestial Mechanics refueling and egress. Sniper Duty, Kratos Graces held Planet Ares. Purpose, top secret. Take out Kratos Graces prototype, Kern Mechas on research assignment in Kratos Graces territory. Penalty assignments cannot be refused. Indicate you have understood new orders. Why? Ready for gravitational catapult. Prepare launch to inner solar system. Enjoying your missions? More thrilling work than fighting the half-hearted troops left on Ares? Much, much more. Forgot what it was like to work this hard. I'm rusty. Are you unhappy with your progress? I don't know. Are you unhappy? I don't know. Always been very hard to tell with you, though I'm not sure if I can answer that question better than you. I've known you since you were freshly assigned to the first pilot wave. You were so delicate. You've only become more delicate, even as you've become stronger. I didn't think I'd describe me back then as delicate. I saw it very clearly, though. The other executives thought you were a scrappy pain in the butt. You were just scared. There's no point in pretending otherwise. You just see through it. Guess I haven't changed as much as I thought. Long ago, I saw a strong and delicate girl. I've worked hard to make you more and more of that. Rather than simply cultivating your strengths, understanding your weaknesses is needed to grow. Let me ask you again, and this time, focus. Count backwards from 20. Remember a moment of comfort. I'll wait. Are you happy or unhappy? I don't know. Because I feel like I'm on the cusp of something. It's frightening yet. It could be something amazing. That's a real feeling. Good girl. Haha, are you blushing? Anyone would. Feel even more embarrassed than I did back then. It's an even better feeling to have. Hold on to that one. Got mail. Leaked data packet. Second generation pilot candidate interviews. That's oh, it's Hallie made. Why me? Oop. I keep clicking on it on accident. Like closing the actual email. Hallimead, why me? Well, 'cause you're special. A special kind of child. All children are special. Ha, that's true. They are. Not more special than those children. We think you might be. Special how? You're the top of your class already at such a young age. We think that you might be able to do things other children can't. My sister's better than me at all those things. And my Aunt Europa, when she was my age, we think you might be special in a different sort of way. Can you look at the box in front of you? Okay. Pass your hand over the box. Okay, nothing happened. You're using an instrument to measure something that is very, very small. Moving it even so little that you cannot see it would be very important. How do I do that? Shouldn't think about it. Just do it. I can't. I know you can. I can't. Your aunt and your sister could easily do as much, so you can do as much too. Oh, it moved. Did you get that? Yes, I saw it move. Literally saw it. Contact the director immediately. Unified culture theory. Pre-installed reference material. Memorial Foundation and Contemporary Literature. Unified culture theory is a brute forcing of defined solutions for the universe through the forcible eliminations of all other possibilities. The theory is attracted to those who desire a beautiful, simple, endlessly complex solution for the universe. In order to develop this theory, there needs to be a solution for the next aversion paradox, which demands that anything not human exists in the universe. Excuse me? The most compelling current premise for unified culture theory and our contemporary physical models involves the full integration of all available concepts directed and established in such a way as to maximize benefit for humanity. This theory of everything speaks to the desire to know, understand, and master the universe while also incorporating a premise of universal love. Happiness for everybody, free, and let no one be left behind. Unlike tyrants of old that crushed alternate futures under their heels and only caused the existential enemy to blossom, such a unified theory would welcome and forgive all humanity and direct to benefit all that things that are and that might yet be. What? I don't understand. 400mm kiss. Terminated maiden voyage, Cradle's Graces, testing the finishing touches and terrifying Macula prototype. Potential for the to the trump card. I as interesting as the Krun Macula storyline is, feels like, damn it, what is it? I always forget the name of that Gundam. Hold on. Is it the Cubely? I think it's the Cubely is one of the ones I'm thinking of. Hold on. Okay, let me grab a Cubely real quick. In my brain, that's what it looks like. Direct Cubely PNG I can grab. Got a PNG. It's a WebP. Oh, if I drop that into GIMP, will that be... Is that a transparency or is that on a white background? Nope. Okay, alpha. If I delete that, is that alpha now? Nope. Like 1 pixel line, maybe. That feels good enough. I had a... Where is that? I had a folder just to organize shit that I want to like throw up on stream really quick, and now I don't remember what I called it. Stream images. That's what it was. Also, no, don't get that. Oh my. Cube bleed up PNG. Okay. Let's see if I can bring that up here. There's probably some like more specifically one-to-one Gundam reference that I am not getting because I haven't watched that much Gundam. There. Oh, I don't know what I'm grabbing there. I'm gonna put a cube guy next to me. Why not? Okay. Anyway, all that to say, um, I wanna, hang out with the Tom. I wanna hang out with the Tom. Listen, the sexual tension between two rivals is really good. Actually, they're both rivals, but like the sexual tension between like two rivals at the same level is really good. I don't know. It's so like I feel like the antagonist of Saturn's storyline, and then um Pluto seems like the antagonist of my storyline. But I like Saturn more. I yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll do another playthrough. I might do another solo playthrough because I am also genuinely interested in this Grim Macula narrative, but also Tomboy. Guard duty in Olympus City. Command is worried that Celestial Mechanics unit might try to escape while the fleet is lounging, using the cityscape as cover. And they're just giving up on catching them on Ares if their only hope is them being that. Their only hope is them being that stupid. It's a ruined husk, and even Kratos' grace isn't climbing to it. Like they cling to even the faintest side of life on Mars. Excuse me, Ares. Well, it's boring, pointless work that no one wants to do, and it's gotta make me wonder if someone's actually mad at me. You let the prototype escape Lunaterra, and the most dangerous assumption is incompetence, which from you they have a hard time buying. Why did I say buying like that? That's not fair. That's not fair. I'm plenty incompetent. They should know that. They should know that by now. You're only incompetent in the ways you wish to be. That's an awfully profound way to call me lazy. If you're simply lazy, you wouldn't go out of your way to find so much trouble to get in. And that's the reason why this assignment is so disastrous as a punishment. Boring you is dangerous. I learned that very early on in your career. There's no way to make you sit still. Oh, maybe I'll try it this time. There's this good sniper spot with a view of the whole city. I won't move from there. Or does it sound less like you're promising to behave, and more like you're going to brag about how much trouble you can get in without even moving? Either way, you should have put me back in the front, right? Saturn gets no-scoped by Lunaterra. Lunaterra gets a point-blank encounter. The point-blank encounter seems more interesting narratively. The balance shifts because Saturn moved and Lunaterra couldn't. Got you. She does. Saturn is as good as already down. But so is Lunaterra. Got you too. Pure Spike got Saturn this far, and it'll get her even farther. She takes aim and fires. Lunaterra, perfectly still for the perfect shot, is perfectly unable to get out of the way in time. Saturn's string of pearls is laid out flat on her back, creaking and twitching, and Lunaterra's mare Crisium falls from her sniper spot like a burning star. Lunaterra wakes up first, but her flight unit is shot. It's hard to hide a ship that can't fly in a city, but the mare Crisium is full of unfair tricks. Shooting her down is just the beginning. You have to catch her next. That's alright with Saturn. She's at her best when everything is in the dirt. When she wakes up, she's ready. She might be in worse shape than Lunaterra, but worse shape is her best. String of Pearls skirts along with the half-constructed city, with the ship ruins and the pristine finishing of plastic toys still in their boxes, looking for the hole Lunatera's nested in and dodging her shots of protest. Reboot took longer than I thought, but ready or not, here I come. Hey, come out, come out. Come out. You almost got me the last time you poked your head out to shoot. Try again. Ah, come on, I'm not babbling to trick you or anything. I'm just having a great time here. I'd love it if you'd stop making me feel like I'm just talking to myself. I can hear you just fine, Saturn. What, this isn't exciting enough? I guess that's why you're the ace pilot, LT. I need to have you on the ropes to taunt you and dodge at the same time. An ear-splitting crash. Impossible to tell which direction the shot came from. The cover around Saturn explodes. I'm an ace pilot because I keep my priorities straight. That's not what I've heard. What have you heard? That keeping your priorities straight is the thing that you're the worst at. That's pretty much your most obvious weak point. Maybe they don't know what my priorities are. Is getting shot down by an idiot with no combat experience high on your priority list? The building next to Saturn explodes. Is missing all the time high on your priority list? You really are a brat. Is getting harassed constantly by flirtatious brats high on your priority list? You're really on your toes today. Can't hit you with anything. Yeah, I'm having fun too. What a mess. I don't know why I'm laughing about it or having so much fun. I'm glad you think so. It's a funny kind of date if you put it that way. This fighting is just play fighting, then keep playing with me. You should be careful though, you never know what I might try next. Got so many plans for dragging you out in the sun. Like what? Are they working on me? Of course, stop underestimating me. I'm executing several plans as we speak. You're not at all ready, Lunatera. I'm not giving you any way out. You're not gonna at least give me a hint? I'm at a disadvantage here. You can't trick me into I can't talk anymore. You can't trick me into giving it all away, but maybe you're right. Maybe I should be generous and let you know that just a hint. That one plan. You're generous? You should know this, but winning isn't my highest priority. Won't mean that I'm easy though. Go away, Apple update. Okay. Hey, we do think alike, at least in the first half of that. If you love winning, that stalemated this whole conflict would bore you to tears. All that's left in space are second choice pilots who suck at things like winning, no matter how good they are. I'm the second choice, but I'm the pilot that's here right now, and no one else would have thought of the plan that I did. Oh, I'm a second choice too? Or I wouldn't be here. Is that great a plan? Really? You? Oh, it's not a good plan. It's just no one else would do it, because I'd have to be a freak to try to catch you on foot. First choice would never be sent to space in the first place. That does sound like a crazy plan to me. What would you even do if you found me, assuming I'm standing still? No, it sounds like I'm showing out, but I couldn't beat you in a fair fight, so anything else is in my favor, right? Maybe it's the only way around that ghost ship of yours, and how much of a genius you are. I can track any ship that I've hit once. I also have ways of being hidden, so you could never find me. You're right, haha, but you haven't used them. Maybe not. Also, did you not know that your Mercury seam has a manual bypass for opening the cockpit? Yes. Oh good, but I'll knock anyway. The gentle hiss of pressure in the cockpit opens. Hi. Yay! You look a little different, not nearly so smug. And you look a lot different. I remember you now. You're such a good girl. I never would have thought that was you. You're smiling, Lunatera. Did something good just happen? You must really trust me to come unarmed. What would I need to be? I win. I'd send pretty much dangers just like this. You think of everything. Never mind, you do look infuriatingly spun. Someone I just beat. Step away from the controls. Sure. I'm not laughing at you. I'm impressed. You know, even still, even in a fake fight you have no respect for, no one takes me this seriously. I'm the Memorial Foundation ace, but just by default, after the good ones left. So I don't mind losing to you, since you think I'm so cool. Lunatera kneels by the controls, hands up. They're still in reach. Saturn climbs the open hatch. No sudden movements, and I don't think you're cool. What do you want now? My ship? Me? They're both useless. I'll decide that. I don't need your ship out of commission. I'm going to be much cooler than you very soon, and then I'll beat you sort of fair and square. But maybe I should reprogram the ship to be absolutely sure. Lunatera whips her around so fast and is pinned down in the cockpit seat before she can tell how it happened. Sorry, but touching there isn't allowed. So, then where is touching allowed? You are absolutely much more dangerous without a gun. Elthie's hand is on Saturn's collar, and her other on Saturn's wrist. Saturn slips her free hand down Elthie's arm. So how about there? That's fine. What about here? I won't stop you. You don't mind if I touch your face, but you won't let me touch your ship? Some places on the ship are fine, some places on me are fine. What do you want to know right now? Is this... Damn it. So how's unbuttoning my shirt going? Better than it looks at that angle with just one hand, huh? Just make out with me, you heinous bitch. God damn it. Happy Pride, everybody. Lunatera had this idea, but instead she forgets it. She finds she's left her grip go slack, and Saturn's nearly leapt out of the chair to kiss her. That thought is a little surprising, but her body made the right call in the moments in between when she was too busy overthinking it. Saturn seems a little mad about that smug face Lunatera is making and bites Lunatera's lip as they kiss. It doesn't encourage Lunatera to stop being like that. This is absolutely insane. Are you kidding? What could possibly be a better use of your time? Don't tell me duties while you're finding out here. Or you would have stopped me before I opened the hatch. You're not just here for fun. You're doing this just because there's no point and you're killing time before the war collapses one way or another. Obviously, I could be sure and still make out with you. Would it disappoint you if I wasn't? Oh, don't make that face. I can tell it. I can tell it would. That's good though. I feel the same way. I wouldn't have let you flirt if that's just all you were. How can you be so sure? Looks like I know something you don't. Even if it's just one thing. I'm always last to know. You always make it seem like you know what you're doing. I'm just acting on instinct. My body knows what to do. And you should be asking her. She'll know just what to do. So I have to ask. How do you really feel about me coming back to Memorial Foundation? You were a loyal and efficient ace pilot for Memorial Foundation for the entire Cold War against our alien and ultimately irrelevant existential threat from beyond the system. Then you are perfectly loyal to the pilots left adrift by the decommissioning of the pilot program and colonization project. Now you're perfectly loyal to the Memorial Foundation again. You haven't betrayed our side at all. That's a generous reading. You betrayed plenty of love-struck pilots, but your political loyalty is impeccable. So even if Halimede doesn't trust or forgive you, I welcome your return. That's not going to be a problem that she... It's not going to be a problem that she doesn't. Oh, she welcomes your return the most, but keep on your toes. That one I don't have any questions about. Keep your friends close and your exes closer. Except, if you're not still suspicious of me for betraying Memorial Foundation, how about her? Oh, that'll be mad at both of you for a very long time. Please don't worry about it, however, as you've both made each other suffer more than enough to make up for your youthful indiscretions. Honestly, the two of you hooking up to somehow get at me was the most hilarious part, as you ended up punching each other more than I ever could have. Can we talk politics again? I think I get the picture already. That's not to say that the two of you don't still have a lot of lessons to learn from the experience. Once I'm sure you've learned them, your punishment will be over. Suddenly very interested in hearing about factions again. Oh, on that note, I'm not as worried. Just remain true to what you really believe in, Lunatera. Hold on, more drinkies. So I don't know why. Something in the most recent LBS update broke all my docs. So I had to like remake all my like my chat box on OBS and then also my streaming phone. But for some reason the one thing that I couldn't recover is how I don't even remember what to call it. It's the thing that tells you how like how many subscribers you have and like how many people are watching. I don't know how to fix it. I have to figure that out. Cause I noticed it last time and then I forgot to fix it. Uh, my kids are idiots, and also they're not my kids, and also they're not kids anymore. Please stop calling them your kids when they're my students. They're not my children. I'm not being pedantic. I'm not doing it to avoid being attached. I'm already more attached than is best. Don't encourage it. They're grown-ups, and also fools. Mars is the most genius pilot, but she is just as much a fool as everyone else. She does nothing but cry and complain and win effortlessly, like a real hero. If she was a boy, they would call her that. And you wouldn't be asking me who the best pilot is, you just know. Only in space would that girl allowed to be a hero. She deserves her moment in the sun. She might win the war for us single-handedly. Anything else that isn't her story will just be a blip of fate off in the sky. Rest easy. She's going to win the day. When the others interfere, they're not going to steer the course of the future any more than a little bit to the left or right of the course that Mars is sailing. I'm not going to interfere. Valuing their independence is important. They'll be adults soon, and then they won't be anyone's kids. Insist on that comparison, and it'll become clear how far we are from fulfilling that role for them. For my part, I don't wish to forget that there are limits to what we can do and who we can be. Though yes, as a matter of fact, I'm tired of them calling me dad. I think that's my favorite. I think that's my favorite email in this game so far. I don't know why you suddenly asked about this, and I'm not the person who knows anything about it, but sure, I guess. I learned all this from Pluto, so you could have just asked her. Too nervous, huh? I see right through you. Well, because I feel sorry for you. I'll tell you all about it. Venus, Lunaterra, and Mars. Oh, they're all planets. I mean, I got that from like Saturn and Pluto, but for some reason I didn't put two and two together that Lunaterra is just Moon Earth. Okay, that's fair. Venus, Lunaterra, and Mars are the interpersonal distances. If Venus is the breath of the body and Mars is the blood, Lunaterra is flesh and represents skin to skin distance. That's why it represents family. The Earth and the Moon are different, but they're parts of the same thing. A two in one. Certainly the Moon also represents something different, but it's also a part of us. When you think of it as a dark side, you forget that it's composed of your own same flesh. It's not your mirror, it's your back. Mars is the beneath the skin distance, and that's blood, but it's also, well, the ways that humans communicate, not skin to skin, but beneath skin to beneath skin. Get it? Don't make me spell it out. That's the reason for fucking and fighting to feel really similar sometimes. That's a weird sentence. Pluto said the other day, it's like you two only know that one language, and that's the only talking you ever do in it. Solar system maps out a human body, and by colonizing the planets, a greater human body will exist, with the sun as the inseparable totality of it all. That's the philosophical justification, but it's kind of romantic, right? Maybe it's kind of fake, though. Boy, I sure did accidentally hit the button that made my mouse go nuts. Do I have to talk to Pluto again? Again, like, nah. Like, this is an interesting plot line, but I also just want to make out with that girl. Like, we're gonna do it. Lunaterra, cancel the launch. There are new orders. Really? I thought they were very insistent about this mission, and it's a good idea, so I thought I'd do it. The new orders are Cradle's Grace's superweapon has contacted the base already. Send anyone except for Lunaterra there immediately. Ah, I see. Well, prep the Mercresium for launch. Lunaterra, even I have to say something if you disobey an order right in front of my face. But you don't disagree? Or you just stop me instead of saying something? A certain degree of questioning orders from the top is allowed. Given who's in charge, obviously. Halimede is just a foolish princess. If Cradle's Grace is using that new weapon, that's all the more reason not to send randos who wouldn't stand a chance against it. You fundamentally misunderstand a Memorial Foundation, Lunaterra. Halimede leads the recovery effort because no one else is fit. Only that naive, conceited, foolish girl has the love required to bring humanity back to Earth. Naive, one-sided, and unself-aware love? Nevertheless, that is exactly the love that is required. It's for us to interpret that fundamental impulse in a way that will ensure strategic advantage, so I will ask you, does love motivate your actions? Are you just that eager to find someone to shatter you into orbit? Your connection with that pilot, and don't think I don't know about it, or who she is, which is it, guilt or love? Will you let me go if I say I need to see her to know? I would advise against it. Your love might be stronger than ours. That's possible. All the more reason you shouldn't get near it. Well, let me take that risk. Ooh, this is rough. Make up and forget. Fight until we forgive each other. Complicated. Complicated. Actually, also, like, it's too simplistic to understand the lore implications of what actually happens for each decision. Have a nice luck, Manaxi. Uh, Honestly, fight until we forgive each other feels like a very, like, anime plot. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? It feels like what would happen in an anime is like fighting until we forgive each other. I think we'll go with that one. This track actually is really good. I think of all the tracks so far, I think this is the best one. The balance shifts because Lunaterra hesitated. Pluto did too. Pluto passed over the Ares Canyon once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. Lunaterra had a chance to make the first move, but Pluto couldn't keep pretending she didn't notice her lying in wait. It wasn't that Lunaterra was ready to take the shot. It's that she still hadn't decided to take it or not. Pluto has been waiting for her to grow up for a long time. She's tired of being the one waiting. There's no time for elegant duels or anticlimactic sniping. When Kryn Macula crashes into the canyon, it's the worst kind of fight. Kryn Macula's fingers will no longer open or close, but she swipes with the useless limb anyway. The ring finger of Pluto's ship self-twists off, breaking with the force of backhanding Mercuricium into the canyon wall, which scrambles to its feet and then falls down immediately. Lunaterra's balance strategies must be broken, but that's not so bad. At least she still has 2 legs, unlike the Kryn Macula. Luna T, you really are the most stubborn woman I know. I'm proud of you, but that you're only this tenacious when I'm finally being serious is a little vexing, you know. I mean, I've kept going this long. It has to count for something, right? I don't want to wreck you. I just really need you to win or lose. Could you do that, please? Both of those are hard to do. Then you've got 5 minutes to grow up. Pluto's reach is longer than expected. Little tricks of gravity. Might not be enough. The Mercuricium was made to not be caught. More precisely, Lunaterra made the Mercuricium something that couldn't be caught. No, don't you dare. Her fingers refuse to close and Mercuricium slips away. Ha! Ha! Ha ha! Sorry, I'm such a cockroach. Don't be. Slipping away is so like you. I don't know what else I expect. Lunati, I really, really can't let you get away. Not without an answer. Not gonna do that. What are you trying to do then? Promise we'd fight until one of us won. And then we'd go along with whatever the other decided. So why are you trying to take that away from me? Lunaterra holds Kryn Macula's severed left tidal reactor. Pluto can go without it, but not for long. That's what makes the Kryn Macula so impossible, and without it, she can't be impossible for very long. That core is everything I have. But the rest of me isn't going to last long without it, so it might as well be everything. If I don't have that, I can't follow you, win or lose. Really don't think it's good for you. The Crone Macula makes a leap and crashes into the ground just short of the Mercuricium. It's just close enough Lunatera nearly forgets to take the opportunity to get a shot in Crone Macula's chest before she can recover to block it. You're going to lecture me about doing what's healthy? You've got a lot of nerve. It's not cute. If we had to fight each other like this, I really wish it didn't have to be with you and that thing. You don't like it, huh? Hahaha. You've always been like this. You're trying to tell me what's good for me? You don't want to admit this is really me. Luna T, I would listen to you if you'd ever listened to me once ever. I told you, I haven't gotten any better in the time we've been apart. And I want you to not be strong or beautiful or amazing. I just don't want you to be holding this weight of Kratos' graces, everyone's hopes and dreams, all by yourself. So please just rest for now. Don't tell me that. I hate this, hate this, hate this. You never listen and you know I'll always let you win in the end. But not this time. I don't know what you mean. I've been really patient, so if you keep playing dumb, you're gonna make me mad. I said I don't know what you mean. I don't want anything else. I'm a cockroach. I don't need anything myself. Liar. Are you trying to make me mad? Be satisfied with it. I don't have any other answer. If I had one, I'd give it, so drop it. I'm not satisfied. No. You grow up and you be the adult for once. Get back here. Crone Macula's feet are still broken, but Pluto moves her with gravity alone. Mercuricium's engine's flare navi is broken. Everything is broken, but it'll move. No, 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 not this time. Crone Macula's twin tidal reactors are falling apart with one of them nearly torn out, yet she still moves. The pressure of the unrestricted gravity peels the paint off Mercuricium. Her steels and plastics are chattering, her remaining useless arm snaps, and her engine wings creak. That pressure is not enough to bring her down, but it's enough for her to falter, and Crone Macula grabs her foot and slams her to the ground. Mercuricium creaks and strains, trying to flee, so Pluto pulls the rest of herself on top of her. Pluto, I'm serious. You're not the only one. I have things I'm willing to be hard and cruel for now, too. Mercuricium fires a sidearm. It doesn't dent Pluto. Pluto opens her hand. The fingers don't work, but the plasma still does, which flays Lunatera's chassis, but gently. I'm really serious this time. I can't stop for a second, so I really need it back. It's already been too long, so give me back that part of me. Mercuricium opens her left hand. Pluto's missing reactor is still beating wildly. Sorry to be like this, but this ship self and what it can do are more important than me than anything else about me. Nothing is more important than you. A gentle click. Lunatera's sidearm pointed at the Solon reactor. Fires. Solid light slug misses, just barely. There's a second shot, but it's buried in Pluto's blocking hand, and there's a third shot. But Pluto's ripped off the arm of Mercuricium, so it's just the last reflex of a limb separated from its owner. But that's all that the broken arm of Crone Macula can take. Its fingers make a last twitch before her arm finally snaps under its own weight, and the Crone Macula falls to what's left of its knees. How long are you going to make me put up with this? What do you mean? You don't want to fight with me. Not a fight for real. Your heart isn't in it, so it's not. No. No, no. That's the only thing I want. Why are you like this? Acting like you know what I want better than I do? So what if you're right? Of course I don't want to fight you. Damn it, I hate you. After all that, I'm the one who's crying at the end again. The last time it was like this, I was the one crying too. Now I'm powerful like you. I have something I'm fighting for like you. That's not you, or anyone but me. So let me fight for that. Stop protecting me. Stop making me fight for you. It's so easy to fight for you. If I'm not careful, it's all I'll ever want to do. I'm sorry. Don't want to sorry. You must think it's so easy to not care about you, but it's not. It's easy for you to not care about you, but it's the hardest thing for me. I'm still the one who ended up crying. Again, you wouldn't listen back then either. Mercuricium arises, gently brushes away the burnt portions of Crone Macula's armor. The joints are already starting to heal as gravity pulls them back, almost just as good as new, but a little changed. I know you. Don't distract yourself, dummy. Reattaching arms is hard, so don't do mine right at least. It was the same last time, too. I said you deserve better. I said, but you are better. I just ignored it because I'm stupid, not because I'm cool. Thank God. Everything is worth it. If you finally don't think you're cool anymore. September 12th, 1963. That's when the first and last artificial colony of the native sphere was completed, in a tranquil bowl of stable gravity at Lagrange Point 5. As the front line against existential threats, a training facility for a generation of humans adapted to fight in space. As a colony environment with the life, gravity, and culture necessary for human beings to live, thrive, die, and be born. With the hope that peace on earth would reign if we won this war in heaven. Without pressure, water boils off our tongues and we dissolve into component parts. Without culture, we forget the shapes we're supposed to have and turn inside out into something else. Out of necessity, we created a pressurized environment, exerting enough gravitational pressure to maintain cohesion, all senses, in space. A ship self to ferry us through the world. Function only in places where the gravity of humans is too light to sustain existence. It was doomed from the start. Of course they were jealous. Of the humans that Earth no longer wanted, flying on zero-G wings. Dr. Nix, executive director, Memorial Foundation Existential Expansion. July 29th, 1958. That's when the Memorial Foundation International Executive Committee was granted international authority. That's a typo. In the spirit of unified human peace, in the verified presence of an existential threat outside of the solar system, to establish a cultural, military, and scientific response to existential threats. No longer confined to Earth, the growing native sphere, where our gravity reigns forever. Safety, research, and expansion. The three pillars of Memorial Foundation's space branch will protect Earth from without as it has from within. Free from the old world's gravity, it would be possible to advance science, art, and culture without constraint, and join hands, all of Earth, finally unified. For Memorial Foundation, protecting humans from other humans through peace on Earth, protecting humans from everything else through war in heaven. Fulfill both of our agendas simultaneously. We really foolishly decided we could do better. There are two errors to this approach. The first is that to do better in heaven is meaningless if it cannot be exported to Earth. The space program was never rejected by the surface. It simply did not have enough relevance to sustain interest. The second error is the intrinsic error of Memorial Foundation. The existential threat is intrinsic to humanity. You can fight it, but you cannot cut it out. Designation of alien is required by humans. We cannot trick an existential threat into a convenient manifestation. As it always has been, only humans can fulfill the criteria to be alien. Europa, Chief Officer, Memorial Foundation, Existential Safety. So much reading. Hold on. I'm gonna take a sipping in the middle of this. January 2nd, 1980. That's when they blew up the Lagrange colony. Hold on. It was a real shame. It was a green, wet, and very peaceful place. And that's a very cold, green, wet, and very unsettling place. It's where we did a lot of legitimately incredible things. Like create sustainable tidal reactors, new culture, experiment with human bodies and human development, manufacture self-sufficient alter egos for space exploration, and did everything other than successfully combat the unknowable existential threat. Imagine if... God damn, this, audio track is, makes it hard to think. Imagine if you, had to pilot a mech the way you pilot a VTuber model. I don't know, that's what the first thing that came to my mind is the concept of, having an alter ego. I don't know, it's weird. Having an alter ego for space exploration made me just think of, what if you needed a VTuber model to... What if you needed a VTuber model to, pilot a mecha? Earth and the Memorial Foundation surface considers that a failure, but in truth, they're just not trying hard enough. Through gravity, humans decide what is real and what is not. Humans cannot make whatever they imagine come true. Through imagining, humans chart out what is true. They invent, with human effort, what exists. If an existential threat doesn't exist, we just have to make one. But of course, it doesn't work like that. Nothing could be more difficult than creating something alien. Our only reference points are human, so the idea of something alien is unimaginable, because we cannot imagine outside of those terms. There's a certain degree of understanding needed for humans to successfully classify something as alien. But before they blew it up, we got very close. I don't know how to say that. Iapetus? Iapetus? Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Existential Research. Day 5. Receiving report. Provisional acceptance of pilot mission completion. Coming alert, all Memorial Foundation troops. Abandoned areas front line. All units immediately rendezvous with main fleet at the Pilot Academy Lagrange Colony on the way to Celestial Mechanics Moon Base. Generating new assignments. Provisional assignment. Special Operations Mission. Secure Lagrange Colony as possible launch point for Celestial Mechanics hit and run tactics. Provisional assignment. Special Operations Mission. Destruction of complete obsolete Academy research technology before it falls into the hands of Kratos Graces. Provisional assignments will reduce your penalty status. Indicate you have understood new orders. Yeah. Ready for gravitational catapult. Prepare launch to Lagrange Point 5. Did we get along better or worse than back then? Let's talk about something else. I was really so bad these days? We don't get along because we're too much like each other. We used to be so different. What happened? I got older and learned a lot. That's enough to make me more like you. You're not giving me enough credit. Really? Do you think I'd blame you for being too good at teaching me the same lessons that made you who you are? Well, I'd always hoped. I'd blame you if I felt like it. There's nothing to blame you for. Nothing you warned me about turned out like you said, so I stopped paying attention to any of your advice. I thought I was too smart for the rest. It was just a coincidence that we ended up like each other. I never minded your lessons. Are you sure? I was a harsh teacher. Are you really glad for it? I'm happy for everything I learned. Not for everything you taught me. I mean, it wasn't like you were wrong. Everything you said would happen happened. But none of it happened like you said it would. If I followed your advice to the letter, it wouldn't have helped me at all. It was all just different enough. So I came up with my own answers. It wasn't until I looked back on them that I realized it was exactly what you would have done. Fair, I suppose. I should count that as success for me. But also, due to your effort, for you. That's just what I wanted, though. I certainly never wanted a carbon copy of myself. I wanted you to improve on what you'd been handed. Did you think you did a good job? Shouldn't you be asking yourself that question, since you're the one in charge of the education? I was afraid you'd say that. Don't come to me for all answers now, of all times. Haha, well, at least there's plenty of time left for me to turn out right in the end. I only did this because you asked, okay? I wanted you. I warned you. I warned you. I warned you. This is dorky stuff. The ancient roots of it are pretty dubious, in case you were wondering. I think most of it's made up. I mean, yes, I know that it's all made up, but not even made up by some wise man 1,000 years ago. It's made up by some dude in California. Anyways, what the dude from California does is he organizes the parts of the body into the parts of the mind and the spirit, and he says that what you should do is think about your body not as a body, but as a tool for relating to other people. I know that they draw them on a body, but it's like, don't think of them as actual body parts. It's the way that you communicate. So this chart might help. I think the point of it, in a way, is to remember that these are all parts of you, but also parts of other people, and you have ways of communication between each other using them. People always ask me for their charts because they want you to be flattered about what they're good at, but that's not the point. You need to know where you have trouble too. I looked at mine so much right before we broke up, like it did me good, but I'm so weak when it comes to Venus. That's the distance of the breath, which means ability to read the atmosphere. I'm talking. Yeah, it's like minor typos in here. The way we communicate. I think it's supposed to be the way we communicate. The way we communicate through breath. When you're bad at Venus, that doesn't mean you're bad with words, but you're bad at receiving words. You don't hear them, or you don't feed other people the words they need to live. Well, according to your chart, you're bad at that too, so I hope it helps. Dr. Nix. Hi, Dr. Nix. She's not coming out of her room. Refuses to pilot it. Figures the most well-behaved of all Generation 2 pilots would have a tantrum like a storm when it finally came. You expect me to know what to do about it? Yes. It's really your problem though, isn't it? Don't start, I'm bigging. Fine, what's the problem then? She'll get over it. Is she upset about her sister? Of course she is, but not for the reason I thought. What did you think? That she missed her? Hilarious. And that's the actual reason? She won't accept the hand-me-down. The low soul tree? She won't pilot it? She won't pilot the perfect second-generation machine because it was made for her sister? She wants her own machine made. She's ridiculous. She said it would be fine if she died, but if it's just because she flaked out and got bored with space and left her problem and Hallie needs lap, she won't do it. Are siblings really this petty and mean? Stop laughing and help. I'm assuming this is like the last chapter. 5 seems like a good place to stop, like chapter wise, and these like kind of feel very final from the descriptions of the missions. Cold War is long over and the existential threat is gone, but its memories still stir here at the observatory. Will be put to rest here or buried forever. The garden district closest to the malfunctioning and broken tidal reactor that kept the colony together. Time and space aren't quite right. It's a perfect place for a real fight. How deep under the Nutera's skin do you think she can get? I think the fight sounds like the most interesting place to end it. I'll probably just do one more chapter then. Come on, Europa. It's weird when you don't order me. Can't you see I'm hesitating? Show some politeness. It's weird to see you hesitate. You don't do it. Stop making it more weird, if you please. Let a woman be weird for once. I just noticed it's Europa kind of has like a BDSM collab thing going on. It's really weird. I have no problems returning to the colony. I wouldn't have thought you would have more hangups than me. You have no regrets, no pain, no fear at any of your training or your service in the war about anything that happened there? Or the people you met there? I don't have any problems returning to the Lagrange colony for this mission. The academy where you shaped us all? No, I'm happy to put it to rest. I was a real idiot, so I don't mind seeing it trashed. Or trashing it a little more to stop that celestial mechanics pilot from taking me back to the Lagrange reactor. You've taken an interest in Saturn. Professionally, she's a dangerous enemy. She was in Iapetus' division, but she was, yes, very, very clever. The Lagrange reactor is a worthless shot of nostalgia. Iapetus must be truly egomaniacal to send that prototype unit after it. That's a bad sign. The worst fights always happen over something worthless. It's certainly a trap, but you know that. It's still a chance to go get one over him and stop that pilot if you're prepared to be serious. I'm always serious. Are you serious enough to stop playing? I'm not playing. Whether you're serious or playing isn't a matter of how you feel about it. It's a matter of whether you're committed or not, or if you're playing because you simply can't decide. You can't play forever. I told you, I still haven't decided. I'm not closing off the future until the last moment. Decide what you want about the future when the future comes. You'll never move from this point if you don't describe how you feel about that pilot. Europa. Oh dear, you're feeling guilty again. Well, that's to be expected. I don't mind if you lose against that one or win. Just choose, right? You don't have to tell me. I know what happens if I don't. Fight for real in a fun way. Fight in quotation marks, for real in quotation marks, in a fun in quotation marks way. I want angst. I want him to fight for real. Like for real. Especially after like the makeout scene. Yeah. Not long ago, the Academy Gardens were beautiful, and they were warm. Now they're colder than space because no feeling is as cold as what is, not even vacuum. Under the stability of artificial gravity, Lagrange colony was as Earth. Maybe even a little bit more. And being more Earth than Earth was, it was also less. Some Memorial Foundation existential safety ordered abandoned first when the first space program was decommissioned. I just noticed like my wing kind of looks like Cubely has a cape. That's neither here nor there. Not everyone agreed, and then there was a fight, and then the colony became like this, ruined in a way only human things can be ruined. The reactor was shattered, and with it all possibility for life and culture. Yet still, some of it lingers. Moss grows, objects gather. Sometimes there are whispers, tidal memories, etched into space-time by the humans who spent too short a time there. True space is more of a numb feeling. It's the cold of nothing, and it feels like nothing too. I'm not so lost in nostalgia I can't tell when I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone, so say something. God, she's so cute. Haha. Oh, so you did come. You're always close by. You're always hiding something. And you're always just out of reach. Even though I've seen your face, I feel like I haven't. Even though I've shot you through the heart, it still looks like I never touched you. Maybe you're just dense, Lunatera. I felt those plenty. I should say that about you, in fact. Lunatera, maybe you're the one who never came close enough to touch me. Am I just that good, or are you holding back? You're slippery. And you've gotten better, too. What makes you say that? I don't already know where you are this time. Must have been doing pretty awful before then. No, you weren't. But it's still unbelievable that you've gotten so good in such a short amount of time. So I don't believe it. Haha, there's no hiding how much I suck, huh? No, the opposite. There's no way you weren't this good before. Haha, that's not true. You've definitely been trained, haven't you? I never fought other pilots. Did you fight something else? That doesn't count. It was nothing but training, and then nothing. The existential threat was never real. It was a trick of the light, and our weapons pierced it with 100% accuracy every time, and no one was ever hurt, and it never became real enough to fight. That's true. It's also true that this isn't a real fight either. You're right when you call it play fighting. These machines were never designed with practicality in mind. They simply aren't made with the intention to kill. I've read plenty of Dr. Nix. I don't need the lecture. And you're not even explaining it right. They did make ship cells with practicality in mind. They made them specifically in a shape that would not allow for death and war. Dr. Nix just didn't want an end to conflict, because that's silly. You can't be human without it. Death defeats the purpose of conflict, which is how humans communicate and change. Death and war end conflict. Ship self signals the fundamental transformation of human conflict from suffering into love. If you know it, explain it the right way. Huh. Being Dr. Nix, you might have a harder time taking it seriously. I'm not part of Cradle's Graces for a reason, you know. I'm not that dumb. Not that I don't get the appeal of wanting to be that dumb. Just kidding. No, I do too. Pluto has that effect, doesn't she? Ha, yeah, I feel dumb every time. She really makes you want to believe with your whole heart. Even if you really never quite can. Neither can she all the way through. She just tries very hard. Lunatera, why are you really here? To stop me from taking a worthless artifact, to fall into an obvious trap for another chance at stopping me once for all? To rack up the glory and take all the errant children home for a memorial foundation? To mess me up? Or to make out with me? Saturn feels herself growing in Lunatera's eyes, suddenly, clearly seen. Wasn't I just perfectly clear? What's this ship body for anyway? I'm here to communicate. Aha! Lunatera, you're really shallow and kind of dumb. I'm honest. Finally, you're lucky, that's enough. Are you ready for that, though? I don't think you're ready. Well, I think I'm ready. You want me to check? I won't give an inch. Not like you girls, not a cosmic glow of energy in the dark. Still, I'm metal and I'm sharp. You really think I'm not like that too? But I'm already behind you. It's a double lie because the movement is to her left, but Saturn is coming from behind. LT's instincts are too good for her to not twitch fire to her left even as she realizes it's just bullshit. But then there's nothing. The feeling of being so close to being struck that she can't tell if she was or not. Are you really not like us girls? I'm nothing special, like I said. But you dodged it. It wasn't real. Nothing to dodge. Obviously, that's the part that's hard. I'm fighting for real, just like you wanted. You're the one who wants that. And fine, dodge this. Lunatera's vision fills with pink, the neuroelectric toxin melting into her skin. It feels hallucinatory, weird, stubborn, aggressive, vulnerable. Just like Saturn. In the poison electric haze, Lunatera feels a little like Saturn. Ha! Got you. I like being wrong sometimes, you know? I like not being Memorial Foundation's perfect ace. Doesn't seem to really suit you, if I'm being perfectly honest. Now that it's playing by the rules. If ship selves don't play by the rules when you're fighting, it stops looking like fighting. Oh yeah, what does it start looking like? Also, that's not where I am. Liar. Are you willing to bet on it? Yeah. Then go. Stakes of hard light are fine for flirting, but that's not what this is. The Mercury seems spear, made for reconciling the Earth and the Moon, is meant to be used up close. It's the distance where skin touches skin, the obligation that humans have for other humans, hard like gravity and warm like light. If no one has been worse at wielding that duty than Lunatera, she's all the more the one who should be carrying that weight. Saturn only realizes after, when the lightness and heaviness starts to lift, that it had hit her too. Well, I didn't think it was even possible to have a gravity less suited to you, let alone for you to be so good at using it. I really hate being in charge, actually, and I'm bad at it too. Sometimes you're the only one left who can do it. Even if you hate it and it's totally self-destructive? Especially then. Sometimes I think, why do we have to fight anymore? Let's just do this obscene other thing, the thing that fighting could be. And then you say something like that and I want to fight you so bad, you wouldn't get it. Haha. You're hilarious. Makes me want to see you squirm. Like in a nice way, though. You can try. Haha. What? It's just funny. I love it when you play cool. Because you're not. Let's communicate aggressively. That's what humans do. Sure, I've already given up on that worthless reactor. They're never gonna scold me enough to make me regret this. Oh, okay. I thought it would have ended there. I kind of accidentally, like, equally did everything. In the ship self, you don't have to worry about dying. Not in the same sort of way. The ship self, you know, isn't even a weapon. It's a body for living and traveling in space. And it is equipped for doing the sorts of things that humans need to do, like fighting. The ship self, which lets you express like it's your own body, better than your own body, is a machine that's for falling in love and having fights. It's formed to literally suit us. It bears only the most abstract resemblance to something designed to kill another human being. The most efficient possible form for ending lives as quickly as possible wouldn't look anything like a human, and that's why Europa designed them from a child's toy. The ship self is the perfect form for war. It's a form that by nature turns war into something else. Part of this is due to humanity's relative weakness in space, separated from the origin of our gravity, even with the power of a tidal reactor. You barely come close to building a ship self with gravitational and metacultural authority equivalent to a human being's on Earth. While humans on Earth need to devote most of this authority to keeping their shape, identity, and differentiation from other humans, a ship self is less authoritative even than this. Though in space, if they have far fewer restrictions than humans on Earth, if a ship self were to make planetfall, it would be crushed under human pressure and rendered lifeless. No, it's gratifying to know you share my suspicions as well, as I understand that it is the purpose of this committee to prepare for any eventuality. That this particular possibility hadn't crossed our minds was beginning to worry me. Oh, I'm no less worried now, but you're asking how to deal with the Iapetus? Still don't understand. Still don't know how to say that. That sense of superiority he has is not a weakness. It is truly dangerous, not just unpleasant. If he seems gracious or forgiving about a loss, it's only because he's utterly confident that he will eventually be able to surpass you. But he's a realistic man. He'll find the easiest route. Merely coming out on top in the end is enough. He wouldn't consider the quality of how he got there. In fact, it would reinforce his sense of superiority to know he surpassed you without having worked as hard as he did. He's shockingly good at predicting others, except for the moments in which he has wildly underestimated one. These fascinate me in particular. He can be so uncanny when it comes to gleaming specifics from trivial behavior, and then he's blindsided by the most obvious conclusions. His lack of respect for interiority is the word I meant to use. Interiority? Quite stunning. His win rate without having it should appall anyone with a general respect for human beings. What is the moon drop, Lunatera? Helamede says it was something you used to talk about. Oh yeah, we were thinking about crashing the moon into Earth. Yeah! That was, not the moon. It was Space Australia. And Gundam. That was so weird. Anyway. Literally? Yeah, that too in the end. The goal of the space program used to be to make all of the solar system figuratively equivalent to Earth. When humans touch it, it becomes ours. That's why we use the Greek word to identify the physical bodies of space, and the Roman to represent our understanding and incorporation of it. We were being silly, taking the metaphor way too literally and way too far, joking about crushing the solar system together. It would make sense to return it. It would be nice and neat. Killing absolutely everyone? Yeah. It was a horrible thought I shared with Halimede. She hated it, but she kept on arguing about it with me. The Earth looks so fragile and small here, and the moon looks so big. That's probably why. It was a bad joke, and she never thought it was funny. Huh. Good, she's very perceptive when it comes to that. I'm surprised always that people can find that self-destructive streak of yours harmless or imperceptible. I'm glad she didn't. Surprised you kept him around given that. Ah, should I have given up? Is that even a question? You should have followed your instincts. You appear to be misunderstanding. I take my work very seriously. As a leader, a woman, as a pilot, as part of the Memorial Foundation, you know that there are very real things Memorial Foundation believes in, and I believe in them too. Yeah. In seeking to bring all people together, however, there are choices that have to be made. Should we cut the world to fit its people, or the people to fit its world? That is what we struggle with the most. Cut does not have to be a bad thing. It can be what's right for you or for the world. Making space for what exists without allowing it to be erased. Those the world abandons die, which is unacceptable. Or they become another world, which is also unacceptable. A kind of violence. Like smashing the earth into the moon, hoping for togetherness and killing everyone instead. We couldn't find the right solution, but at least we know which was the wrong one. What happens if I skip that? Let me save. I haven't saved in a while. I'm curious what delay does. Oh, okay. It just goes back. I think that's a good place to stop for today. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this on stream. It is very interesting, but there's also a lot to read. Okay. I think Rummy's. Oh, sorry, I like Discord DMs. Like, actually, I got Discord DMs, which like I never get Discord DMs at all. Um, let me see here. I Rummy's still probably doing her thing. Yeah, she is. All right, we're gonna raid Rummy. She's doing her like 5K like sleepover thing. It's just Rummy the boss, right? Yeah. I don't know what they're like watching like old. Looks like Jerry Springer type shit or something. Also, Grimble is there. All right, yeah. Hey, what's that? Uh, I like this. It was interesting. It just reminds me of Gundam. Yeah, it was interesting. I like the writing. It's like a little, I don't know. It's like more high concept for some reason than I thought it was going to be. But I enjoyed it. Um, the next thing that I'm like, I had the really strong urge to play a bunch of Spider-Man games just because of, the movie coming out. So I grabbed like two Spider-Man games that I really wanted to play. I was originally just going to play like more like queer themed games this month for Pride Month, obviously, but like I just really want to play a Spider-Man game. So that'll probably be what I'll be doing this next week. I'm gonna be playing Web of Shadows because I hear it's not great, but like there's parts I just like the symbiotes. I think the symbiotes is just really cool. That's it. That's the only reason I'm playing it. And then I also grabbed what is it called? I always forget the name of it because Web of Shadows is the symbiote one, and then symbiote one, and then there's like that other one that is like a multiverse one before Spider-Verse, but like you get to play as Spider-Man and then also 2099 and also Spider-Man Noir, and then there's a fourth one and I forget which one it is. But I'll be trying to play those after. All right. Oop. The raid happened. Okay. Goodbye.